All right, we're in Proverbs chapter 20, verse 16 today. Take the garment of one who is a surety for a stranger and hold it as a pledge when it is for a seductress. Okay. Many times God tells us, do not take, do not be a sure, a guarantee for someone else's loans or someone else's problems, because then your reputation is on the line. But here's to say, but what is God? But when you're helping someone else or someone else needs something, make sure you take something if you have to do that. If you really feel compelled to do it, you need to make sure you take something as a pledge. You need to make sure you take something as collateral. That's where we get the word. That's where we get collateral from, saying that there's a promise that this will go forward. Now, this is not just also in financial dealings; it's also in relationship dealings with people in your family. Say, hey, I'm gonna, because a lot of people they get run over and they get seduced. People will try to seduce you. Family will try to do that. Oh, you owe it to me. Your family. You need to help me. You do, and they'll make people feel bad. Well, sometimes you got to take a pledge and say, hey, you got to have this. You know, one thing you can do is you can say, hey, well, I'm going to help you with this. You got to go to church with me for so many weeks for say a wayward family member who's not following Jesus anymore. You can do that. It's okay to do that because we're supposed to. If we have to do something out of if we end up really feeling compelled to do something, don't just do it and let them walk all over you, because what happens? They walk all over you. They take your stuff, and then you wonder, have I done anything? And what you're doing is you're basically sowing seed on bad ground. You need something to bring it back. Here at the church, we people call for benevolence. Now, if you're inside the church, hey, we help anybody anytime, no problem. Pretty much no questions asked. You ask us for help, we're going to help. Well, unless it's like you ask every other week and things like no, but people don't do that because they realize they understand we're a family. People outside the church, they come and they ask for help. And it's great. Sure, I'll be a surety for you. I'll go out there. I'll help. You need your rent paid. You need your electric bill paid. No problem. Except I want something. I want to hold something. And here's what I want to hold. I want to hold. I want to help your soul. I want to help your overall health. And so we require a few things. You have to come in and meet with us and do counseling. You have to, if it's a financial thing, you have to show us your finances so we can say, hey, this is what you're doing wrong. So you could not go into the same problem, because what you don't want to do is help someone and then be in the same boat the next month. That's throwing money after bad, because all you're doing is putting off the inevitable, and because we want them to be better. And the most important thing I have, hey, depending on the need, you have to come and join us for church services. You don't have to come forever. We believe you come for a couple, they'll be hooked and they'll stay. But they're like, well, they all have excuses why they can't come. Well, we have online services. We have Sunday morning services, Sunday night services. We're going to be adding a Saturday night service. Now, here's the thing. You're telling me well, I worked all the time. You're telling me you're working from 5 o'clock Saturday until midnight on Sunday. You're working all those hours, so you can't come to church at all? Come on, give me a break. I'm not asking for much. I want to have a chance to change their lives. And if I don't change their life, it's fine, but at least I had a chance to change their eternal destination. And that's what God says. When you do help someone, you want not only to help them, but you want to know the help did some good. And in order to do that, you got to have that little carrot on the end. You got to have that there. So it's very important, especially a lot of people look at this for business, but it also deals with relationships. You want to change like your children. You got to have some rules, and it's that's where this tough love thing comes into play. And I'm presently dealing with it. But you know. And they might not see it, they might not appreciate it, but later on they will be like, "Man, you didn't just give me a handout." But that changes things, because you say you required something of me to get it. Now say you're helping your child with rent. Okay, you're not expecting to pay you back. Okay, trust me. If you're expecting to pay you back, you've missed the whole boat. But you can say, hey, I want you to come to church with me, or I want you to come spend family dinners with me for a few weeks, in lieu of paying me back. That's holding something in a pledge, because otherwise they'll just continue to pull on those heartstrings. They'll continue to make you feel bad, and then you feel bad, and then you give it to them, and they still make you feel bad, because they're seducing you. That's what they're doing. And God, the way to keep that from happening is to say there's a requirement that goes with this. And it's okay to do that. It's actually smart to do that. But what if my family member says, hey, I know I don't want to do that? Well, one of two things. First of all, if they say they don't want to do that, they might not really need the help that they're asking for. It might be an ulterior motive they have behind all that. And second of all, hey, they turn it down, that's on them, and they go on, they can't make it. Then they might come back to you and might agree. Then you could be set even bigger terms to restore relationships. So that's something very important to keep in mind as we go forward, as you go forward in life, and it'll help you, and you'll have a better peace of mind too, because you're not just putting yourself out there, and people aren't coming trying to seduce you. They'll actually look at you and go, I don't know if I want to do that. We've got to the point where people in town, they don't come here very much for things, but they're desperate. They'll come because they know that we always come through. But we do want to hold a pledge because we want to change their lives for eternity. And you can do that with friends, family members, co-workers, whatever the like is. But don't just give yourself out and not have something in return. So I hope you have a great day. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you. And you are absolutely awesome.